Hello, and thanks for tuning in to my very first episode of what I'm going to call The Regular Guy. My name is Jeff, and thanks for tuning in today. A lot of folks are out there just like me. I work a full-time job, don't have a lot of money to spend, and when crap hits the fan, I'm kind of screwed. So in this case, I have a 2001 Nissan Pathfinder that my ignition coils are shot. Took it down the road to a friend of mine, got me a great deal on the coils himself. He's telling me this would cost about $1,000 to fix if I was to bring it to his shop. I don't have $1,000. So luckily for me, I'm a little technical. I don't have a lot of skills, but YouTube videos, Nissan forums, all the different stuff out there has taught me what to do. Please understand I am not a professional at any means. I'm just a dude with a garage, a couple tools, and I just want to fix the stuff on my own and save a lot of money. So hopefully you'll like it. Please give me your comments and feedback. Hopefully it's positive. And moving forward, hopefully we'll have some great videos after this. So today, 2001 Pathfinder, ignition coils, and let's see what we can do to fix this thing. Thanks. Well, a good day and welcome to the first episode of The Regular Guy, where guys like me that have no money and can't afford a shop to fix your vehicle, you can do it yourself for a lot cheaper. So today we're working on a 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. We're going to change the ignition coils. Seems to possibly be a kind of a hard job, but actually it's very easy with some simple tools. A guy like me has almost no tools, so if I can do it, I know you can too. Basically all you need is a ratchet, a long arm, and a 10 millimeter socket to get you started. So let's go ahead and make this happen. So first of all, stick your ignition coils in. This being a 6-cylinder, we need 6. Keep in mind that these are not one fits all. This is actually 5 of them are the same, and one of them is actually quite different. So you got to make sure you pair these up correctly. So to get started, let's go ahead and first of all take off our negative wire to our battery, because we want to make sure that we don't have any issues along the way. I'm not really sure why, but everybody told me to do it, so we're going to do it. You got to remove the cap to the top of the engine, or the cover I guess you can call it. Now, once that top's off, we're going to want to, one side is going to be easy. The left side is actually pretty simple to get to. We just need to take off a few brackets, which are still 10 millimeters. The hard part's actually taking off the air box and removing this piece, which is a little bit more time consuming. It's very simple though. I think the biggest problem is, like me, when I was a kid, it was very easy to work on stuff because you didn't have the thought of how much it was going to cost to fix it. So today I'm a little bit more skeptical, but because I've done the spark plugs already, I already know how to do it. It's very, very simple. Worst case scenario is you start it, and if you don't feel comfortable, put it back together and take it to your shop. So right now we're going to start on the left side. We're going to go ahead and remove the ignition coils. And first we're going to start by removing some of these brackets that are in here. And once I get started, I'll pull them up for you to see. Now you're going to notice that there's going to be a few of these little connections all throughout the engine. You're going to have to remove those. These are color-coded in this vehicle, so it makes it very easy. I'd recommend, in the past, what I've done is just take some painter's tape, some blue tape, with a Sharpie, and write some numbers on them. Might be the best way to remember if for any reason it's been replaced. This vehicle has approximately 250,000 miles on it, and it's the second engine. So not everything is going to be the same as straight from the manufacturer. I'm sure there's new bolts and screws and things that have been added on to keep this thing running. But for future reference, go ahead and use some tape and number them just in case. Even the two bolts here, there's a little bracket here. This will allow you to unclip some of these larger hoses and move them out of your way, so you can just kind of tuck them back a little bit. This will give you access into your ignition coils. I'll remove another one right here too to kind of pull this out, and this should actually be a pretty easy fix on this side. And actually I can already spot the one that singles out. It's the taller one, and the top actually looks a lot different than the other one. So if you look at the length and size and the shape, this one actually fits right there, and it's going to be easy to do. As I mentioned, I have very basic tools. I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of money to buy things. But fortunately, most of these cars, if it's simple projects like this, it's pretty easy to do on your own. You just got to have the time to do it and a little bit of know-how. You're going to notice that the coils are right here, right there, and right there. I've got to undo. Each of them has a bolt. When I pull that bolt out, I've also got to unconnect the little connectors on the side here. so be careful making sure you connect the right one back. So I'm going to go ahead and do one at a time so it's not confusing. As I mentioned, some of the bolts might be different. This is a 10 millimeters, but this is actually an Allen wrench bolt. It's been obviously replaced through time. So I kind of assess the situation first, figure out what the tools are, get them all lined up, which I already have, and that's really all I need. So very simple project, just more time consuming than anything. Make sure you don't lose these bolts. You don't want these rattling around in your engine somewhere, causing some problems for later on. Now I've got to unhook. As I mentioned, you've got to take off the little wiring harness that's on there. You might have to pull it out first, get it up higher, but be careful not to break anything off. So, quick unhook. That's the old one, and we'll replace it with the brand new one. Alright, so now I am ready to go and put in my new coil. I'm going to go ahead and connect it back up. Move all this crap out of the way. When I was younger, you could actually feel the spark plug clip on. Now it actually kind of slides on slowly. Once it gets in the hole, push it down nice and snug. And then we'll go ahead and take our bolt and we'll insert it into the hole and we'll go ahead and screw that on. Okay, so we've already switched the left side of the Nissan coils and we're moving over to the right. The right's a little bit more tricky. We actually have to replace the entire, well, take off or move over basically the entire airbox unit. We have several bolts that have to be removed. Make sure you hold on to those and put them in a nice little bucket like that for all your crap. I also use some painter's tape and a Sharpie because I'm going to have to take off some of these different hoses, and I want to make sure I put them to the right spot. So I will label them and mark them by number just to make sure they get put back on and I don't forget them. That's the biggest problem, is it's so dark and black in here, you might not actually realize that you're not putting something back on, and that would be bad. We have to take this thing off too to get to the center coil. I have no idea what it is, but it has to come off. So with that said, I thought it would be a regular seal, but it's actually, on mine, it's a metal seal. So I don't know if this needs to be replaced. You can see it move a little bit right here. So you know something? I'm not going to replace it. The car's got 250,000 miles on it. Really? So we're just going to bypass that little procedure myself. I've already replaced this coil and this one, and now we just need to get to this one. So my hand, and then, like I mentioned before, I think, if I didn't, get these bolts and get them out of here. If you drop this down here somewhere and it gets stuck, you're kind of screwed, man. You never know what's going to happen. And the whole reason why we're doing this is to save money, not spend it. Pull the coil out, just like this. And there's a little switch on the side you can push in with your thumb, and you can pull it right off. Just like that. And that is how you change the ignition coil to 2001 Pathfinder. I'm sure whether it's a Ford, Honda, Nissan, it's all pretty similar stuff. I think it's about getting over the nerves of doing it yourself. If you're just like me, a regular guy, you really can't afford to take it to a shop. You work full time, you have kids, your wife's staying home, you're the only person supporting the family, or whether you're a woman, it doesn't matter. The point is, it costs a lot of money. So hopefully this video helps you out. Other people's videos help me out. So just want to pass it on. So if you're a regular guy or gal just like me, do it yourself, save some money, go buy a 6-pack of beer tonight, and you won't feel like you haven't paid your bills. All right, have a good one. Thanks. With the Nissan, it runs fantastic. No more hiccups, no more of that stuttering, 60 miles an hour, the whole truck's shaking. I almost felt like a rear end issue. Believe it or not, it was just a misfire from the coils. Changed the spark plugs previous to this, and also the filter for fuel. So at this point, it's running great. Test drove went awesome. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.